Be the love that you want to receive. Be the joy you want to receive. Be the change you want to see. Truly. And when you embody that, there's such a magical thing that surrounds you. That emotion, once you start really tapping into that pattern of thinking, it becomes your habit. And this habit of being in that space is such a blessed space to be in, because you own it and nobody ever can take it away, because you decided this is the space you want to operate from. And when you are in such a inner peace, who would want to rob themselves out of it? I mean, yes, there are destructive, and that could be to chemical imbalances, some situation, abuse, so forth. But in regular, normal conditions, it's where everybody really wishes to be, where they're more grounded, they're more clear, they're more at peace with themselves, so they can be at peace with others.
Are you confident? Do you have consistency? How much conviction do you have? I'm Daniel Gomez, the Confidence Architect, a business strategist, keynote speaker, executive coach, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you unlock confidence to create consistency and develop conviction. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence. Welcome to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. What an amazing week. It's been pretty awesome over here in San Antonio, Texas. And today we have an awesome guest. Dr. Sofie Nubani is amazing. I'll tell you, she has a Facebook group where she encourages, she edifies. She has an amazing book called Optimize Your Creativity Mindset. And she just has so many things. I was reading so many credentials that you have, Dr. Sofie. I said, let me just let her introduce herself. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. I'm based from Orlando, Florida. So the home of magical Disney World. And I think it's rubbed a little bit off on my personality.
Well, I love that. I love your charisma. Well, I know who you are. I see you on LinkedIn. I see you on Facebook, and I'm part of your Wisdom Cafe group we'll talk about and on Facebook. But tell the world, who is Dr. Sofie Nubani?
Oh, blessings. And it's such a pleasure and honor to be on your podcast and show, Danielle, because I really love what you're doing, and the positivity and the inspiration and the encouragement that you continue to share on all of your platforms as well, which got us connected really through that. And it's such a blessing to be in that really high vibration in alignment with your soul entrepreneur tribe. Because just like we need our inner circle and tribes of friends and personal relationships, it doesn't make a change when it goes to our career, because that's part of who we are and our commitment and dedication towards our missions. If we are not aligned with authenticity and servant leadership and genuine influence through our connections, also it will drop not in the right way. So your ethics and character will remain as principles. However, you can glow and grow a lot better when you are in that certain circle. And I am so blessed to have been connected with your light as well. And to everyone watching, I'm so grateful that we are sharing airtime together today. I am Dr. Sofie Nubani. I am a creatics, interpersonal executive coach, and author of Optimize Your Creative Mindset book series, as well as NLP certified master trainer as well. So basically, I would say coaching, and then you use all the different modalities and all the different learnings and teachings that you have, incorporate with what can help encourage or empower people accordingly. So thank you.
No, thank you. You know what intrigued me when I was going over your bio, what I really love, it said certified laughter yoga instructor. I have never heard that before. Not that I'm a yoga expert, but let me explain. I love that because I think I was talking to one of my clients and we were talking about how when you get in that lower frequency and you're hard on yourself and you beat yourself up, I was like, you got to raise yourself up. And she was like, well, what do I do? I said, you just got to laugh. Just right now, it's like you're feeling down. Watch a movie, something that's going to make you laugh. But when I read that, I thought about that conversation I had with her. Laughter, certified yoga instructor. Tell us about that a little bit if you don't mind.
Sure. Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, the more tools and the more awareness that we have to support our overall well-being, the better we can overcome challenges and be more resilient in our walk of life. And it's very crucial that we don't just get in a corner and being caught under a certain amount of stress and anxiety and depression and medication and counseling before we realize that we have simpler tools that are available. They are free. And sometimes they might need help. For some people need, to be walking through a little more in process, depending on the trauma levels they have faced or went through. However, as basic of anything, as infants, you laugh before you walk, right? So it is our natural ability that we have to unlearn how we stopped laughing, not how to laugh.
I love that. We have to unlearn how we stop to laugh. Okay, this is a part of the podcast where I want my audience. This is where I say it's time to get a pen and paper and put that pen to paper and take down notes because Dr. Sofie's about to drop some bombs here of wisdom. And I don't want you to miss this
laughter
because
bombs,
yes, laughter bombs.
Don't back down. Don't be calling no 911. We're all safe in our homes.
So we have to unlearn not to laugh because I think so many times when we're growing up, we're saying, don't do this. Don't touch the stove because it's hot. Don't touch the iron because it's hot. Don't eat this or don't do something because we're always told no, no, no. So we don't get a chance to enjoy life. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yes. And just like a lot of our natural innate abilities, curiosity is a natural behavior of a child. But we become such an uncurious society with time and with the way we are being all taught and our minds reframed from our natural abilities. You see, you ask too many questions as a child. A lot of times the parents don't even have the patience or the teachers don't have the patience for that specific child, and they get more cut down, and with time they start feeling that they are annoying, they are not welcomed, and they are not fitting in, and they start to change their behavior and suppress their curiosity, which could have been such an asset for their growth and behavioral intelligence and emotional intelligence and curiosity intelligence and cross-cultural intelligence, creativity intelligence, all starts with being curious, exploring, discovering. So when you are trying to suppress laughter, mind you, some cultures, if you laugh loud, it's considered not polite, disrespectful, like slow down, you're too loud, like,
yeah,
and you're in a restaurant having fun, like laughter is contagious. If we start laughing, I guarantee you somebody else is going to start either laughing or something. But I mean, with respect to environment and occasions, right? We have that. But to have a society that has not prioritized such an easy tool to access is going to really add more burden and heaviness on the overall collective energy than it would openness, joy, and connection.
Yes.
It dissolves heart walls instantly. It's a universal language. It could be in an elevator and something funny happens, like a baby pulls his dad's pants a little down and everybody's looking and they start laughing. And maybe they're, Chinese and Italian and French and different languages and nobody understands, but they're all laughing. So when we have something that is natural and we go against nature, and that is in anything, not just laughter, we pay a big price on our soul journey. So unlearning that is bringing it back in as a way of living, as a parent, as a leader, as a teacher, as a government, as a school system, and see how this beautiful ingredient is going to smooth a lot of heart walls, judgment, and lack of, I would say democracy and communication that could be so avoided with just, you can't laugh together and be angry at the same time. It's impossible.
Well, what comes to mind right now is I'll never forget my wife had her first major surgery with breast cancer 3 years ago. And then we went back for her follow-up, not even like 2 weeks later. And we were like, she had a double mastectomy. We were like, all right, all the cancer's gone. We were grateful. So we thought. We went for the follow-up and the doctor just had this look in his face and I'm like, uh-oh, what happened now? And somehow through the breast cancer, now the cancer was on her skin. On her pelvic or her. And I mean, just granted, not even 2 weeks before, double mastectomy, woman, right? She lost her breast and that's a woman's identity. And I lost hope. I lost like, man. And I remember leaving and I called my friend and he goes, dude, just go watch a movie and laugh. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, just go watch a movie and laugh. Clear your mind. Y'all been through a lot. And granted, my wife, she was still healing from her major surgery of having a double mastectomy from her breast cancer. So I said, you know what? I said, let's just go to the movies. Let's go have dinner. And we're going to drink a margarita. She's like, well, I can't because of medicine. I said, look, right now, the medicine is irrelevant, right? Right now, whatever pills the doctor told you to take right now, we need to have a great time because this is going to bring us down. Wow. And we went and saw a Christmas movie that was so funny. Wow. And she drank a margarita. I drank a margarita. We ate a pizza there and we had a blast. But if it wasn't for the gift of laughter, Dr. Sofie, I truly believe that we wouldn't have made it through some of the most difficult times through her breast cancer journey. And I always reflect to that because laughter is what got us through, because laughter is one of the best medicines, if not the best medicines out there in the world that's free.
That is so true. And Norman Cousins, like he overcome his disease with watching comedy. They were so surprised. How did he overcome such a deadly disease when he isolated himself? And he said all he did was watch comedies every single day and made a point to laugh. And now we are not suggesting that, this is how people are healing. This is supporting your overcoming your stress and lowering your cortisol levels, which will allow the good hormones to be more present in your body and make you feel better and in a better mood. And that's really what it is in the end of the day. You literally, truly, truly, at the same time while you're laughing, you can't be in any other emotion. And when you're laughing, you're pumping oxygen to the brain more and the blood flows. And that's what your organs need when you are in a state that you need to heal. So that's also, it's a lot of neuroscience that is actually involved in the science of laughter beyond what we think is funny. So you asked about laughter yoga, being a certified laughter yoga instructor. I'm also a master trainer for the Laughter Mindset program, which we incorporate growth mindset with humor while teaching and doing, the coaching and so forth, because we really believe that once people are having fun while they're learning, they anchor better and they have a better memory recall on what they have learned. So what a better way to learn outside bringing some humor into the seriousness and making it more fun and memorable to your memory as well. So with laughter yoga, it was always, the breathing and the stretching to prepare for the lungs to laugh. So outside watching a comedy, laughing on jokes, which I recommend highly. If you have
Yes.
friends that are funny, hang around them more, right?
I need to call you more often.
You're like, wait a minute.
I'm in, Dr. Sofie. I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up. I need a laughter class.
Because what happens is that laughter as an exercise, once you understand the science of laughter, then it's going to be more valuable to you, the person, more meaningful, why you want to laugh more. So the diaphragm, when you laugh, starts working when you're laughing. It's exercising the best when you're laughing, believe it or not when you're singing, not when you're jogging, when you are laughing. Look at the creator's, mystery of how everything is operated. But look how when we find out is years later with science and technology and so forth of what was the purpose of this laughter. Why is there laughter, right?
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Because I think there's a lot of people that need to really laugh in this season. I wasn't even planning on talking about laughter, but I think that's just where the Spirit's taking us, right? I think too many people are too serious in this season that we're in right now in life. The whole world, we're all feeling this. Why do you think they don't open themselves up to laughter as an adult? And what can we do to open ourselves up to laughter?
Yeah, so we have to always be, positive, optimistic, but realistic as well. You have a family that maybe lost loved ones or have friends that are in hospitals. I have that currently as we're speaking. One of my soul sisters. I've been on FaceTime and calls consistently the past few days. But I make her laugh too. I want to say something funny to her because that's part of my thoughts to help her, right?
Yes.
So when we're looking at the bigger picture, there is life, there is challenges and pressures. Not everybody's able to exit from that to the laughter mindset because it is a mindset. And what I like to say is that when you understand the science of laughter and do it as an exercise, you are not going to feel guilty or silly that you are laughing. You are going to look at it just like you would go to the gym or take a walk around the house or do your swimming or dancing for your movement. Then laughter would be part of that as a regimen, which what helped me when my cat passed away, by the way. After my mom passed away, I signed up for the laughter yoga certification program. Literally, right after the funeral, I was already booked for that. I traveled from overseas. It was only 2 days that I rested, and then my class certification. I did not sign for a class. I signed for a certification class where I would teach it. Why did I do that to myself? Because I knew that if I took it to that extent, that I have to be so focused and understand, and really now that I have to explain it and also demonstrate it to people and make it part of, what I do. And so understood more about the benefits, physical, mental, emotional.
Yes.
By the time my cat passed away later, let me tell you, when your pets are like your kids, right? They're always around, especially when you have affectionate pets like I did. He's an angel, amazing soul. I was sad, in the first 4 days, trying to comprehend, digest. But I started doing laughter fitness. In laughter yoga, we have a laughter fitness program where you engage both sides of your brain, the right and with punching on the earlobe, and then doing squats and then doing the groucher walk. And I would do it and then I'll go.
Well, I love what you said. And I think I want the audience to write this down. What you said is so true. Dr. Sofie just didn't take a class to learn it. And I think many of us, if we took a class or when we read a book or we listen to a podcast even, listen to it, read it to teach it. And something magical happens because it's a shift in your mindset, it's a shift in your brain that when you do something like you're going to teach it to somebody else, you retain more of the information. And I love that you said that and that you challenge yourself. So I want my audience to ask themselves right now, what can I start doing that I'm not just going to read a book? How can I take my own personal growth to another level and really from this day forward, I want you to commit to yourself that when I'm going to do something new, I'm going to do it as if I'm going to teach it. Even if you're not going to teach it to anybody, but just have that mindset shift. And because like Dr. Sophie said, you're going to retain, and you're going to retain. What do you say to that, Dr. Sophie?
Yes, a very amazing point, because see, there's something magical about the we consciousness. All right. When we are going to go higher and think of being in service, right? There's something so beautiful that happens. A, you're being more focused because now you're like wanting to understand because you know you have to deliver. And B, if you're doing it with that heart, the blessings and the interaction, the things that come back to you are so priceless that it becomes addictive at a point, because it's like dopamine all the time. It's like, hold on, people. Are you on chocolate? Are you on something? We don't know what it is. But I'm like, high on service from the heart. And it really brings you that joy, intrinsic desire, intrinsic motivation, truly lightens up the path of yourself and others. It just does. And when you try it more, you'll understand it better. But that's an amazing point that you caught on to, because it truly was where I had to put myself. My higher self had to put Sophie, the sad Sophie that loves her mother dearly, that just was, missing her dearly, to be on directing the energy to something positive, that mother would be so proud to see that you're helping that many others to recover from their depression, anxiety, sadness, heaviness, lack of self-confidence, and incorporating modalities that also have humor in it. Yeah. And it's such a beautiful gift to share with others.
And it's free. It's free. It's free. Think about it. You don't have to buy a bottle of wine. You don't have to go shopping. It's free. It's free. So share some of your wisdom with us on this is, what are 3 takeaways that our audience will get just by doing that? What are 3 benefits of laughter to a human body, a human being?
Sure. First, during such challenging global times that we are facing, immune systems are being very much compromised from the stress and the fear before even getting sick. And one thing that laughter does, it increases the endorphin and the production of the feel-good hormones like serotonin, which is related. When you have less serotonin, you have more anxiety. Okay. So some people wonder like what this person has. It's like sometimes you're lacking hormones. Half of the things we deal with, you take certain hormones more than others. Now you have another whole person every single time. So when we're aware of that, it will, increase your dopamine, your oxytocin, all these good hormones in your body are instantly increased. Imagine, like literally like that. I'm like, hey,
let's laugh more often.
every 2 hours, people, I'm ready. Let's laugh together, So that's one of the things, because you asked for 3 takeaways. Another takeaway is it instantly dissolves heart walls. If they did in India, where the laughter yoga started with Dr. Katara in 1995, and it spread to school systems, and now we have over 800 laughter clubs around the world as well. When they started them in schools, the number of bullying percentages has dropped.
Wow.
When you're laughing with your people in the morning meeting before the school even starts, that same person that was going to be picking on you and you're laughing together psychologically, don't forget, we're human. We process things in our mind with images and sound and experience. So when your vision and your experience, like somebody, let's say a criminal, I'm just giving an example, and he's about to hit somebody, and then they remember their face was so innocent. So they might have maybe back up just from an image that brings a memory or something to a little baby sister or a brother, and it might change something. So we operate with images, and our brain picks that. So when you're doing those things, in a company meeting and school and so forth, this is going to really, really dissolve the tension right from the beginning. So that's another benefit. And the third, which I'm very passionate because, I wrote a book on creativity because I really believe that it's such an amazing and a very important tool, especially in our 21st century, and agreed upon. But when you're laughing, you are engaging both sides of your brain, both hemispheres.
Yes.
After a good laugh, the way you can generate ideas is a lot better and more than when you are in a tense, suppressed, constrained emotion. You become more expanded and your imagination just expands along the way. Your spirit is open. Your body's more relaxed. It's like your internal organs all have a massage. So when we look at and this is only 3, because remember, it's a big topic, right?
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about it. I really am, because I think people need to hear that, especially today. I really think that. Because if I hear you correctly, so we'll just say somebody's angry. I teach this in a corporate setting, is that when you're angry, when you're jealous, when you're in that bitter state of mind, I call that the destructive state of mind. But when you flow in laughter, you flow in joy, in appreciation, I call it the creative state of mind in my training.
You're going to love my book because I have a chapter which is a creative mindset versus a destructive mindset with all the steps. We're on the same. Yeah. We're on the same mindset.
Yes. And something that I teach this in corporate settings. I've seen.
That's awesome. Yes.
I've seen like executives cry because I say, but you know what? Because I write it down, and then I write down like bitterness, jealousy, envy, right? And I say, but you know what? The irony of all this is just the symptoms. You know what the root cause of a lot of these in the destructive state of mind are? They're like what? Unforgiveness. Because unforgiveness creates bitterness, is a root of envy, jealousy, right? All that comes from, and I've seen it in people's lives where when you have unforgiveness and that bitterness, that resentment, it kills a person from the inside out. And we don't even realize it.
Poison.
Yes, it poisons them.
And on a frequency level, truly, when they measured it through, like literally measuring the brain and in a scientific lab and so forth, the frequency of love was the highest when it was measured. And the frequency of anger was so low. And when you're vibrating on low frequency, you're constantly on a treadmill, running till you run out of breath. You are not being charged. You're not feeling whole and complete. You're not feeling grounded, centered, because you're already on a depleted mode altogether. There's not enough to keep you going. Those emotions will only rob your peace, the quality of your life and thinking and behavior. And that's what happens on even an energetic level, literally.
Wow, that's powerful. Well, let's shift a little bit here. Let's talk about your book. I'm seeing it right now. It says optimize your creativity mindset. Let's talk about that. So, the creative. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So talk about your book a little bit. It's a best-selling book. It's amazing. Give us some 3 main takeaways that we're going to get when we go to Amazon right here after the show and we buy your book.
Actually, today it's still on a Kindle promotion, and that just happened. It wasn't, just so you know. It's funny because with the publishing, it's out of your knowing when the day comes.
Yes.
It's not like, because it's not an Amazon publish, it's Ingram Sparks, my main distributor.
Okay.
So it takes time for it to show when it's, so today, the Kindle, not the paperback and all of them are there anyways, but the Kindle is on an unbelievable 99-cent promotion. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So when somebody reads Optimize Your Creative Mindset, what are 3 takeaways we're going to get from this amazing book? Talk to us. I just love your wisdom. I'm soaking it all in right now. I'm like, she's answering. I'm just going to listen and soak it in because I believe this is a serendipity appointed podcast episode for us too.
Blessings. Yes. So the mission of the book, in my intention and my vision, was to unveil and allow entrepreneurs, leaders, and executive leaders to have tools that they can use and implement in an organization or a community. It divides into three ways. So there is a part where there are 14 contributors that are amazingly successful, tapping into their creative potential and a little bit on their backstories, and some that has never been shared before, even on their own podcast. And I was honored to have that to be shared with the readers. And, some had textbooks in college. And so it's like, people who are really dedicated in unconditional human service, very selective on who was in there based on the topic to match and make it easy for the reader to understand. Because when we talk on stories, there's something about it that's going to sink better than when you're just giving information, right? So there's a chapter, for giving an example, you said, there's thinking styles. And I really love to invite new box thinking and new box answers. And it's not very much talked about. However, it's really interesting when you learn how to, and you have examples and you have ways of how you can experiment with that.
Did you say so that the word you said was new box, or what was it?
New box thinking.
New box thinking, okay.
And also, of course, you'll be familiar with divergent and convergent as basics. So divergent invites the creativity, the openness, the possible possibilities versus, solution, like critical thinking, convergent. I got to pick the best answer, which we need both in creativity. And the myth of the right brain, it is a myth, because when you are in a creative mindset, you're going to need to use both for you to have creativity that is leading to innovation, right? Otherwise, we'll imagine and we'll dream, but we are not having an end result that is actually submitted to a field that is accepting and it's useful and new to people where they want to actually use it.
Yes.
So thinking styles, different blue sky thinking. Not a lot of people are familiar with blue sky thinking, even as a term. So there's different thinking styles, and that really is going to bring a lot of, because I feel it's a foundation. How we can think and our perception to things and our openness and our better problem solving is going to always be in the way we are thinking. Are we in design thinking? Are we in lateral thinking? Are we in divergent thinking? Are we in blue sky thinking? Are we in new box thinking? Are we in abstract thinking? Are we in critical thinking, convergent thinking? So there's so many different thinking styles and examples. And then there's a very amazing, powerful story to go with that. You have mindsets. And a lot of people are familiar with just the basic two mindsets. But like you mentioned with destructive, there is the jealousy mindset, the envy mindset. There's the winner's mindset, the champion's mindset, successful mindset. So there's 33 different mindsets that are broken down. And then putting all of them into the two basic ones and learning that with another amazing, two powerful stories to go with that.
I love that. It's, man, no wonder I like you so much. It's like we teach it in the same, we're teaching the same content, but in a different wording. But this is what I do. And you did a trigger. And I was like, so what I do is I get these colored sunglasses, red and blue. And I said, red is an angry, right? An angry perspective. And blue is a loving perspective. So when you put on these red sunglasses, I put them on somebody in a class and they look, I go, what color is this blouse? Red. What color is this? Red. Everything's red because it's true, right? Because you got the sunglasses on. With the same way, your perspective, if you're angry, no matter what, you're going to have that angry perspective.
That is so true.
And you're never going to be open to anybody's point of view. You're never going to be open-minded to it, to what somebody else, or I won't be open-minded to
something. You want to have the patience to do that.
Yes.
To listen.
I love that. I just wanted to have people realize that. So if you have what Dr. Sophie's saying right now is if you have a loser's mindset, no matter what you do, you believe you're going to lose. If you have a champion's mindset, you start thinking like a champion and you see opportunities around you. So I really hope y'all are taking notes right now because she's dropping some value bombs. And thank you so much for waking up my mind and my heart to receive this right now, Dr. Sophie.
Oh, blessings. And talking about the red and blue, because I'm also a Reiki master, Chios master teacher, and just the red color, and also in Feng Shui, in the art of Feng Shui, red is like fire energy, right? And blue is water. So what comes fire is water. Now we all have needs for everything that we feel. If somebody suppresses their emotion when they're angry, it's not healthy. But if somebody has an angry mindset, then they're carrying that as a way of looking at life. They're always going to be not giving themselves their best opportunities. And if anything, even if they say, well, he's very successful and he's always angry. What do you define success as? How is his health?
I love that.
Inner peace? How is his inner peace? You see? So we look at things from a holistic mindset. And by the way, I have holistic thinking as a big part in the book, because I really believe if we can have a society that can combine divergent thinking plus convergent thinking, holistic thinking, we are going to tap into our best creative potentiality. Literally.
I need to go buy that book right now. That sounds, man, I love what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you're saying. That's amazing.
And remember, it's a 427 pages. So there's a lot in there. And the third you mentioned, because you told me 3, there is also about storytelling and creative storytelling. And creative storytelling is a little bit different than just storytelling. And I believe that when we can open other people on tapping into all the tools that they already can have, but just by learning a way of doing it, their perception immediately expands. Yes. And when that happens, they're able to provide in a different way, because I even introduced the acronym COURAGE with traits that are so powerful, that have 30 pages. And so it's an acronym with 30 pages, not 2 pages, right? Because it has a lot of teachings and empowerment, and also the yin and yang, vision, action, dream board, with a twist of a new flair on a concept of how you apply it and how you apply it to attaching to your goals emotionally, but in a way where I bring George Gurdjieff's philosophy from the 1800s and bringing the third way that he taught about the fourth way and so forth. But it resonated with me because I was on the same mindset, but I wanted to have more research and see, Is anybody else have thought about this, or am I just, and everyone brings a little bit different. I talk to you, you're going to bring the same maybe principles, a different way of delivering it. And that's what we need. The more we can deliver in different ways, the better, because we are all different and everybody receives in a different way. And that's the beauty of it. And of course, I created the Circle of Creative Masters Institute along with the book, because I really believe in diversity and multiculturalism, as well interfaith harmony. I'm a very advocate about that. But creating into a mastermind concept, however, on a global connected level, with standards and ways of doing it. So the book has all these information in it.
Well, that's awesome. So let me ask you this. What makes Dr. Sofie distinctive? What is distinctive about Dr. Sofie?
I should leave that up to you, but...
Well, that way our audience can know, right? So if somebody says, well, Dr. Sofie, right? What makes you unique? What makes you distinctive?
Well, I am a creative, intuitive, existential spiritualist. And I think that kind of combination in my personal reality and interests to life brings in much diversified thoughts, ideas, and concepts. And I really believe the passion of the unconditional human service. When you just love being in that space, whether you get paid or not, that's when you know this is a gift and a passion. I love to uplift, empower, encourage, and relax people. It's a passion in my soul. And I would say that's something I walk with, breathe in. It's part of my identity and how I show up to the world.
I love that. Well, that is definitely distinctive. I like what you said, because when we get to that point of just serving and giving, you cannot outgive the universe. You cannot outgive God. And that's what you said. Because when you give without expectation, that's the true point. And I'm not, I'll be honest with you, I'm not there 100% yet. I'm a lot better than where I was, a lot better. Because I think you're always growing in different areas of your life. But I love that, because it just shows that I'm on the right path, because you're in my life right now, right? Where that same energy frequency, we cross paths, and it's not by accident. So I just admire that about you. So let me ask you this. So as we're coming towards the end of our show, what is a quote, a saying that Dr. Sofie leans on just to encourage her? Because we all been there, right? When you're growing, there's a point where you're going to be frustrated. You're going to lose your confidence. What is a quote or a saying that you lean on to get you through challenging moments in life?
It's the simplest: be the change you want to see the world, in that essence of practicing it. Because every time I feel that I want to do something for someone else, I feel I have to better myself even more so I can deliver in my best quality. Be the love that you want to receive. Be the joy you want to receive. Be the change you want to see, truly. And when you embody that, there's such a magical thing that surrounds you. That emotion, once you start really tapping into that pattern of thinking, it becomes your habit. And this habit of being in that space is such a blessed space to be in, because you own it and nobody ever can take it away, because you decided this is the space you want to operate from. And when you are in such a inner peace, who would want to rob themselves out of it? I mean, yes, there are destructive, and that could be to chemical imbalances, some situation, abuse, so forth. But in regular, normal conditions, it's where everybody really wishes to be, where they're more grounded, they're more clear, they're more at peace with themselves, so they can be at peace with others.
Yeah.
The subtitle of the book has been such an inspiration to me that I created in my own mind, as Unleash the Power of Your Metacognition to Supercharge Your Imagination and Ignite Your Innovation. When we are going on a meta level thinking, and we start being more aware, the meta awareness level as well, the awareness of being aware, you are in another whole way of existing, feeling, seeing, touching, hearing. Everything starts becoming more, your senses are more activated, and your sense of being is restored to much confidence, and your walk in life is more grounded. And that's such a beautiful place that we can create in our journey.
Yes, I love that. I always say that we are artists of our lives. Every day we're given a white canvas.
Amen.
And we get to choose what we paint through the power of I call it our magical paintbrush, the words that we use.
I love the magical paint. I like the word magical with a paintbrush. I mean, yes. Can you imagine the freedom you have?
Yes. So how does the audience get a hold of you? How do we get a hold of Dr. Sofie Nubani? Talk to us, please.
Yes. Well, I am on all social media platforms, or many of them, let's say. I'm on Twitter as Nubani Sofie, on Facebook, Sofie Nubani. SofieNubani.com should have all my information as well. And I'm on LinkedIn as Sofie Nubani, Dr. Sofie Nubani, on Twitter, Dr. Sofie Nubani. But I'm just going like, okay, people. But yes, and my email address is Nubani, NUBANI SOFIE @gmail.com. So Nubani Sofie @gmail.com. And those are the easiest ways. And definitely, anywhere, anybody commenting on your show will definitely, listen to any questions, and we're here for you.
Awesome. Just amazing. It was such I wasn't even planning on talking about laughter, but I think the universe knows that we need to laugh right now as human beings, as creatures. And so Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. And Audience, if you love this amazing episode, I would love for you to join our community at Distinctive Syndicate. It's our Facebook group here. Just come on in, join our community. We welcome people that want to grow in life, business, their finances. And the same way you hear amazing just stories and wisdom and content here on just the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, the same thing we have in our Facebook community, Distinctive Syndicate. So join us. And that's a wrap for this week's show. Until next time, we'll see you here at the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. This is Daniel Gomez, and thank you so much for tuning into our show today. We'd love your feedback. Please drop us a comment, and thank you for leaving us a review. Don't forget to subscribe to our show and share this episode with a friend. And my free gift for listening to our show today is a copy of my best-selling book, You Were Born to Fly. To get your free copy, go to DanielGomezInspires.com and get your copy today. That's DanielGomezInspires.com. And to elevate your life and business even more, follow me on social media at Daniel Gomez Inspires on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence.